Welcome, Jesters. As you all know, I am probably, shockingly, one of Zohran Mamdani's biggest fans. I look forward to him implementing every single one of his crazy policies. Absolutely. And I would just repeat, Republicans, however many there are left in New York, just stay out of his way. Give him everything he wants. Just don't object. Don't show up. Vote president if you have to. Just give him everything. His latest scheme is a tax on pied-a-terre residences, meaning residences that are owned by somebody, but it is not their primary residence. And this is a deal worked out with the governor, that could possibly grant the city an additional $500 million in revenue. So when I first heard about this, I thought, oh, great, he's just copying Florida. But then, no, I looked into it, as I am prone to do, and actually, this has been a proposal that's been floating around New York for over 10 years. So this isn't even a Mamdani proposal. This isn't anything he came up with. Maybe he knew about it from the legislature, but I guarantee you this is a dog treat for Zohran Mamdani. This is Kathy Hochul telling him to take your treat, shut up, and go away. So let's first talk about $500 million. Ooh, yeah, okay. The combined budgets of the city and state of New York is roughly $250 billion. Yeah, $250 billion. And $500 million is supposed to make up some huge difference. Yeah, I don't really think so. Right? So that's just not going to happen. So how it's supposed to work is properties that are valued again, arbitrarily and capriciously by the government over $5 million and are not owner occupied are going to be taxed some additional amount. The details haven't been released. Of course, the details are never released. Democrats never release the details of their taxing and spend plans, but that's beside the point. So, yes, that's the basic plan. Properties over $5 million, not owner occupied. But this is New York, and admittedly, there are probably still some smart people there. And if you can afford a $5 million condo, co-op, or home, right? Yeah, you either are smart or you know some smart people, like some smart accountants and lawyers and people like that. So I think after this is implemented, we are going to see a shocking number of just over $5 million units hit the rental market. Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, and what are the Democrats going to say? I mean, there's a housing crunch in New York, and an increase in rental supply is definitely going to help that. Some of them might figure out that they should probably criticize high-value rentals, but still, they're high-value rentals. And I suppose the owners could just turn around and say, well, we're trying to attract, high-net-worth people to the city. Because, you see, in every one of these proposals, since it was introduced, again, like 10 years ago, there have been a couple of exemptions. Most notably, what are they? Properties held for the production of rental income or offered for rent on the open market. All right, so these properties, because the owner is either renting them or trying to rent them, will not be subject to this new tax. Yes, there you go. There is your sudden glut of high-value apartments on the rental market. Now, I know what our friends on the left are going to say. Oh, well, there's going to be rules in place and they'll just be audited, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, sure, I'm sure there will be. But there's about 13,000 properties, apparently, that this will apply to. And you don't think of those 13,000, some of them have good lawyers, good accountants, and are just petty enough to clog up the New York court system with appeal after appeal after appeal, even though it might actually end up costing them more in legal fees than they would end up paying. Yes, I'm sure there are people that are just petty enough to do that. And out of 13,000, yeah, you're talking about even a small percentage of people that have money and are petty. Oh yeah, this is not going to end up well for the city. And I genuinely think that the agents and the realtors that are listing these apartments will know what's up. They'll know why they're listed, and they will try to rent them. They will show them many, many times, but for whatever reason, it's just crazy. The deals always fall through. Weird how that happens. Oh, well, it's still on the rental market, right? We all know this is what's going to happen. So if this tax ends up collecting $80 million, maybe, yeah. And of course, they're gonna say that's a good thing. And then when people say, wait, well, isn't this supposed to collect $500 million? They really won't have an answer. But that seems to be always what happens. The Democrats pass a tax expecting it to bring in all this money, and it never really does because people just change their behavior. They find loopholes, or they just find out ways that they can legally not pay, which is what is going to happen. But I actually hope this passes. As much as it's going to be a failure, I really hope it does pass because overtaxing or taxing non-owner occupied properties at a higher rate is a core component of all the property tax proposals here in Florida. Now, yes, the only legitimate tax proposal here in Florida is to eliminate all property taxes, but for right now, it's baby steps. We'll take what we can get. Whereas only homesteaded properties would be exempted, so second homes would not. So if New York does this, if they tax the pied-a-terres at a higher rate, then all you lefties who complain that Florida is just gutting their tax base and what will poor local governments do, you can shut up. Right? So yes, I hope Zohran does this. I know it's going to be hysterical when we watch him fail, and it will, well, you know what? We can finally just tell all the lefties to shut up about Florida. Because I'm right.